What's going on YouTube? It's UngarToTheMax here, and a salute to you. And I am currently watching Washington against the New Orleans Saints. As I have expressed repeatedly in these videos, I will not say the team name for Washington. I just think that name and that logo is extremely offensive. It is extremely offensive. It is extremely disrespectful. I think the NFL should. I wish the NFL would step up and force Washington to change their name and logo. I mean, I don't like the name Cleveland Indians, but at least they're getting rid of the cheap Wahoo logo. So, I will say that. And Drew Brees has passed Brett Favre for second all-time on the NFL's all-time passing list. And I think he will pass Peyton Manning tonight. Yeah, but I do like the Saints. So, although this is primarily a Cleveland Browns channel, I'm going to be mixing in some Chicago Bears live streams, some Jacksonville Jaguars live streams, and some New Orleans Saints live streams. Not as often as Cleveland Browns live streams or in-game footage. But I will be doing some New Orleans, some of those other teams. And I might do a live stream on Saturday for Wisconsin against Michigan. I don't know. What's up, Taylor Curry? Yeah, so I might do a live stream on Saturday for Wisconsin against Michigan. I don't know. I'm not sure who I want to win that game on Saturday because I like Penn State, and Penn State is number 11, I think, in the BCS. Or not the BCS. I don't remember what, in the playoff standings. So, as I think I want Michigan, but at the same time, Michigan's in the Big Ten East with Ohio State and with Penn State. So I'm not sure. So anyway, getting back to the Saints game. Drew Brees just needs 101 passing yards to pass Peyton Manning for the all-time NFL record in terms of passing yards. And even though Drew Brees only has one Super Bowl ring, and that was Super Bowl 44 against the Indianapolis Colts in Miami, he's still easily a Hall of Famer. And even though Tom Brady has 5 Super Bowl rings, which he did not win any of them. He didn't win any of the Patriots. I don't know how to... Hang on. I'm trying to think of how to say this. He didn't win any of the rings for the Patriots. Everybody else has won the rings, has won the Super Bowls for. But even though Tom Brady only has, even though Tom Brady has 5 Super Bowl rings, I still say Drew Brees is the better quarterback. Easily. Because Drew Brees hasn't had the luxury of a Rob Gronkowski or a Julian Edelman throughout his career. Drew Brees never had a Randy Moss or a Wes Welker or an Aaron Hernandez when Hernandez was actually good. Yes, Drew Brees had Jimmy Graham and he had Reggie Bush, but you know, Jimmy Graham, the Saints traded Jimmy Graham to the Seahawks, but he's now with Green Bay, and then Reggie Bush retired. So like I said, Drew Brees has done all this with less than Tom Brady. So that's why I say Drew Brees is the better quarterback. Oh, Drew Brees is easily a first ballot Hall of Famer, without a doubt. But going back to what I was saying about Tom Brady, yeah, he's not the reason the Patriots have won 5 Super Bowls. Super Bowl 51. Yes, he led the comeback against the Falcons. I'll give Tom Brady that. But he's not the one who won the title for the Patriots. That was James White. Super Bowl 49, it was the Seahawks stupidness. It was the Seahawks mistake that won the Patriots the title. When they should have ran it with Marshawn Lynch, but instead they passed it and Malcolm Butler made the interception. So Malcolm Butler is the one who essentially won it for the Patriots, even though the Patriots were already winning that game. Let's see, Super Bowl 46, they lost to the Giants. Super Bowl 42, lost to the Giants. I don't remember Super Bowl 39. Oh, it was Deion Branch that essentially won that game for the Patriots. Super Bowl 38, I don't remember. But Super Bowl 36 against the Rams, it was Adam Vinatieri who won that game, who won that Super Bowl for the Patriots. No, wow, Drew Brees just did. No, that wasn't Drew Brees. Who was that? That was Taysom Hill. But my point is, I get why people say Tom Brady is the greatest of all time. I get it, but I don't agree with that, because even though he has the 5 Super Bowl rings, like I just said, he didn't win the games for the Patriots. And even though he has all these records and everything, Brady has had all these great receivers and tight ends. Like I said, Wes Welker, Randy Moss, Aaron Hernandez before he got involved with his whole trouble. Rob Gronkowski, Julian Edelman. He had Brandon Cooks. Now he has Josh Gordon. So, whereas the Saints, like I said, really haven't had, Drew Brees really hasn't had a lot. But yet, the Saints won the Super Bowl against the Colts. There's Mark Ingram. So, my point is, that's why I say Drew Brees is the better quarterback. And usually I'll say, on a quick side note, in WWE news, after their 6-woman tag team match, 6-woman tag team victory against the Riot Squad, the Balor twins turned on Ronda Rousey and attacked her. Don't know why, but they did. And the Indiana Pacers just defeated the Cavaliers 111-102 in preseason action. But anyway, getting back to the NFL. That was a very ugly win by the Browns yesterday. One of the ugliest wins I've ever seen. I get it. A win's a win. Oh, great pass by Drew Brees to Ben Watson. Wow. But that was a very ugly performance by the Browns yesterday. Don't get me wrong. I love that we got the win against the Ravens yesterday. It was great to be there. But it's the 3rd overtime game. Okay, I do agree that Brady was a major factor in the Super Bowl championships that the Patriots have. I get that. But I can't, even, like I said, even though Brady has 5 Super Bowl rings, I still don't think he's the greatest of all time. Drew Brees needs 35 passing yards for the all-time NFL record. He's going to get 35 yards easily. But the same Drew Brees has had to do this with less. And, like, I can't emphasize this enough. Brady has had Randy Moss, Hall of Famer, Rob Gronkowski, Julian Edelman, Wes Welker, Aaron Hernandez before he got into all his various issues. Whereas, like, Drew Brees has Michael Thomas now, but he had, like, he did have Jimmy Graham, but then the Saints traded him to Seattle. But like, Drew Brees has had less around him in terms of talent, even though they won the Super Bowl, which that was one of the best Super Bowls I've seen. But all I'm saying is, that's why I'm saying Drew Brees is better than Tom Brady, because he's had less to work with in terms of talent around him, and yet he's doing all this. Tell me I'm wrong. Come on, tell me I'm wrong. But getting back to the Browns game yesterday, we got rid of Zane Gonzalez and brought in Greg Joseph, thinking that he was going to be a better kicker. Yes, Brees has had way less help than Brady. But you're a Patriots fan, Eric. So of course you're gonna say that Brady is better than Brees. That's bias right there. Is the knee down? Ooh, it looks like the ball is across the goal line. But again, the Browns got rid of Zane Gonzalez after leaving 8 points on the board, funny enough, against the Saints in New Orleans. And we brought in Greg Joseph, somebody who had never kicked a field goal or an extra point in the NFL, off because he was a undrafted free agent from that Miami signed to the practice squad, and then we signed him because we thought he would be better. No. Most NFL kickers would be able to make that 55-yard field goal. And most NFL kickers can make an extra point. Greg Joseph did neither yesterday. And the game winner, if you watch that live stream, I originally thought it was no good and the game was going to end in a tie. Because it was such a low kick. And I don't think it was blocked or anything like that. It was just really bad. It was just a really low kick and a knuckleball. So I'm not sure how to feel about it. Like, I want to be excited about the Browns winning. I do. But here's the thing. And this is just... Okay, Brady is the... As of right now, I'll say Brady is the greatest player. I'm not going to say greatest. Best player to come out of the 6th round. Best player to come out of the 6th round. But here's the thing with the Browns. 3 weeks ago now, after they beat the Jets on Thursday Night Football, they played an AFC West team, in Oakland against the Raiders and lost in overtime, 45-42. So then we just beat the Ravens 12-9 in overtime. Who do we play this week? Another AFC West team. And actually one of my favorite teams, the Los Angeles Chargers. But the reason the Chargers are one of my favorite teams is because my favorite player of all time played for them. And he's a Hall of Famer, LaDainian Tomlinson. I am disappointed that Dean Spanos moved the team out of San Diego and moved them to LA. I strongly dislike that. I wish that the NFL had tried to do something to keep the Chargers in San Diego. The city just wouldn't give the Chargers a new stadium, which it's hard to maintain an NFL stadium. I get it. But, like, the city of San Diego seems to want to maintain Petco Park where the Padres play. I don't think the Ravens are going to leave Baltimore. I don't see that happening. But I'm so disappointed that the Chargers are in Los Angeles. They're one of my favorite teams. If you want, I can share with you the list of my favorite teams. It goes, the Seahawks are definitely my favorite NFC team. So it would go Seahawks. No. Yes, the Browns were robbed against the Raiders. But if I had to list my favorite teams, this is not in any particular order, but I would say Seahawks, Jaguars, Browns, Bears, Chargers, Saints, and then Giants. But with this channel, I primarily focus on the Browns, the Jaguars, the Bears, and the Saints.
Go Jags!
Okay, so why all of them? Seahawks, I've just always loved the Seahawks. I'm not sure why, but it's just a thing. And then with the Jaguars, my second favorite player of all time played for them, Maurice Jones-Drew. And then with the Bears, another one of my favorite players of all time played for them, Brian Urlacher. And then, like I said, with the Chargers, my favorite player of all time played for them, LaDainian Tomlinson. And the Saints, it's because of Drew Brees. But that's not in any particular order. But if I had to tell you the teams I hate the most, it would be Washington, number one, strictly because of that name and logo. I won't even say their name and logo out loud. I won't even say their team name out loud. Won't do it. Who do I think is the best Browns player that has ever put on that jersey? Jim Brown. That easily. But yeah, like I said earlier, I hate the Washington. I will not say their team name. I'm not of Native American descent, but I still find their logo and name very offensive and discriminatory. I still find their logo to be very racist and discriminatory and disrespectful. I just don't like it. So, yeah. Now the Saints are challenging a play. But, yeah. I would also say I hate the Dallas Cowboys because, like, they think they have to be all that. Like, we need a new stadium, so we're going to make it the biggest and best in all the NFL. Because we're America's team. No, you're not America's team. Shut up. Yeah, the Browns could be good if it just worries me, like I said. They got their first win against the Jets, but then the week after they played an AFC West team and lost. and then the next week, and then they played the Ravens this week and won, and then they have to play an AFC West team at home. So I'm just that's just my feeling. But yeah. So Washington is the number one team that I hate the most. Dallas number 2. Green Bay is number. I wouldn't say I hate the Packers actually. I wouldn't say I hate the Packers actually. I don't like them. Yes, the game yesterday was definitely a defensive struggle between the Ravens and Browns. But the game, I don't hate the Packers, but I don't like them either. I strongly dislike the Packers. What other teams do? Oh, I hate the New England Patriots, or as I call them, the New England Cheat-riots. Yes, I'm not gonna get into it and say like I can't prove that they actually cheated, but you also can't prove that they didn't cheat. That's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm saying. I know you can't prove that the Patriots actually cheated, but you at the same time you can't prove that they didn't cheat. I get it. Drew Brees now just needs 35 passing yards to pass Peyton Manning of all time. So, yeah. But this channel, I'm primarily focusing on the Browns and the Jaguars. And I will sprinkle in some Saints and Bears live streams. I'm not going to do any Seahawks live streams. I'm leaving that to Nordcamp. He is a die-hard Seattle Seahawks fan. Oh, Drew Brees? Is that it? There it is. There is the record. Drew Brees just passed Peyton Manning all-time for the all-time passing yards in the NFL on a touchdown pass. Wow. And I am 71,968 career passing yards. An NFL record. Congratulations to Drew Brees. Congratulations to Drew Brees. And I bet the Chargers are looking back going, what the hell were we thinking? Because, you know, he had the shoulder injury and then the Chargers cut him. And the Dolphins were about to sign him, but again, the Dolphins doctors were like, we're too concerned about his shoulder. Let's go sign Dante Culpepper instead. And New Orleans signed him, and guess what happened? And look at where he is now. He just passed Peyton Manning for the most passing yards of all time. And he's... Oh my God. I'm a little bit brought to tears by that. I'm not gonna lie. He's my favorite quarterback of all time. Plain and simple. He is the greatest quarterback. The best quarterback of this generation. I get it. You Patriot fans are gonna be saying, but Josh, Tom Brady has 5 Super Bowls. I don't care. Drew Brees is the best quarterback in the NFL of all time. I don't care. Drew Brees is the GOAT. That's my personal opinion, And I will stand by that till the day I die. He is the best quarterback of all time. I'm just glad I was live streaming and got to share that moment with you. But, God, I would love to go to a Saints game. Maybe when I go to see the New Orleans Pelicans, I'll get to see a Saints game with Drew Brees as the quarterback. Although, I did get to see Drew Brees play on the road against the Browns a few years ago. And the Saints are going for a 2-point conversion, already up 26-6. Yes, Brees has the most accomplishments in terms of Brady has the most championships. But again, to me, that doesn't make him the greatest of all time. To me, Drew Brees is the greatest quarterback of all time. He is the GOAT. But wow. What a pass by Drew Brees. How does Washington let the guy get that wide open? It was like they wanted to give him the record. Wow. Yeah, and Drew Brees, you're right. You're right, Eric. It's all been with one team. Peyton Manning, he did it with two teams, Indianapolis and Denver. But Drew Brees did it with one team. He did all this with one team. The Super Bowl, these records, passing Johnny Unitas. Now this record, passing both Brett Favre and passing Tom. I almost said passing Tom Brady. No, passing Peyton Manning. So, congratulations to Drew Brees. The Saints will for sure retire his number when he retires. And, ugh. Wow. I'm a little bit emotional about it. I want to hear what he's... Wow. And like I said, Drew Brees has done all this with less. He's had receivers come through and come and go, but nothing to the caliber of what Tom Brady's had. So he's done all this with less. So, I mean, him and Sean Payton are like peanut butter and, or like, him and Sean Payton are like peanut butter and jelly. There was no way I wasn't going to live stream during this game tonight, knowing what was on the line for Drew Brees. Plus, it was a great game between these two teams last year in the Dome. It came down to the last few seconds, and New Orleans won it. So, it was a great game. But, congratulations to Drew Brees. I'm so glad I was live streaming during that. I will say I regret sharing all my favorite teams because, I don't know. Oh, it makes it even better that it happened on Monday Night Football. I agree with you, Eric, wholeheartedly. So many more people got to watch it. If it was on, like, just to see, even if it had been on Sunday Night Football, I think it would have been special. But for it to be on Monday Night Football, when this is the only NFL game on, it's amazing. I don't know Miami is probably kicking themselves because instead of having a Hall of Fame quarterback like Drew Brees, they've had like Dante Culpepper, Matt Moore, let's see, they have Ryan Tannehill, who else? I don't know, but they've gone through so many quarterbacks. So the Dolphins are probably kicking themselves. Next week's Monday Night Football game is live from Lambeau Field between the San Francisco 49ers and the Green Bay Packers. How would that's an interesting thing. Well, I don't think the Chargers would have gotten Rivers if they had kept Drew Brees. Huh. I don't. Would Eli Manning still be a Giant if Brees didn't leave? If the Chargers hadn't gotten rid of San Diego? No. If the Chargers had not, if the Chargers didn't get rid of Drew Brees, would Eli Manning still be a New York Giant? I don't know. It's an interesting thing to think about, but I don't know. But I will admit, I do slightly regret saying all my favorite NFL teams because I feel like that takes away from the channel a little bit. So I kind of wish I hadn't said that, but it's too late for that. So I can't say it enough. Congratulations to Drew Brees. It's so fitting that Drew Brees got the record on a touchdown pass. It would be such a letdown if the Saints lose this game after that. But they won't. I don't think the Saints will lose this game. Now Washington is on offense with Alex Smith as quarterback. Alex Smith, drafted by San Francisco #1 overall. When they had the opportunity to draft Aaron Rodgers #1 overall. How do you think San Francisco feels about that? Then again, if San Francisco had drafted Aaron Rodgers, would he be having all the success he's had in Green Bay? Although, I wouldn't say the Packers are having a lot of success over the past few years. But I'm just saying. It's interesting to think about. Like, what if this happened and what if that happened? It's so interesting to think about. I would have loved to be at this game just to see it Brees eclipse the record live. Now Drew Brees is back on offense. And he doesn't have to worry about passing the record anymore. He can just go out and play the game. And that was not a good play. He did a double pump and then just threw it to the ground. De'Aaron Payne, the rookie from Alabama, putting the pressure on Drew Brees, forcing him to throw it to the ground. So 2nd and 10 for New Orleans now. 1:45 left in the first half. I think I'm just going to do this for the first half and then possibly do it for the second half. But I don't know. Yeah, no one will ever break that record on the Saints. He's already thrown for 232 yards and 2 touchdowns, and he's 14 of 17. Think about his career. 2004 with the fourth pick, the Chargers draft Philip Rivers. Yep. He gone on to have an incredible career. Then his book mentioned the doctor saying, yeah, he got about a 25% chance. I mean, Philip Rivers has had a great career with the Chargers. But I'm not sure he's a Hall of Famer. I think what would make him a shoo-in, what would make Rivers a Hall of Famer, is if somehow the Chargers win a Super Bowl. I think that would make him a Hall of Famer, personally. I don't know. Well, that's weird to think about. Like, what if Drew Brees had gone to Miami? Would Nick Saban have gone to Alabama? I wonder what the domino effect would have been on that. I don't know if Rivers is a borderline Hall of Famer for me. He's like almost there, but I don't think he's quite there yet. Almost. Ooh, New Orleans just fumbled it and Washington just recovered it. Again, like I've said, I will not never say Washington's team name. I just think that name and logo is, just has a bad taste in my mouth. I will never say it. Never. I think it's a catch. I don't even think Marvel gets his hand in there. So it's 26-6 New Orleans with 1:22 left. And there's a fumble being reviewed right now. Right now, it's 1st and 10 for New Orleans. I don't think that's a fumble. It wasn't a football move. I think they're going to call this an incomplete pass. As of right now, it's 1st and 10. It's 1st and 10 for Washington. But now they can't review it because Washington just ran a play. So, Washington might have something going. I think that's Jamison Crowder. Yeah, that's Crowder. They have 1 running back and 1 tight end and 3 receivers. Thompson is the running back. Reed, they run it with Thompson and nothing. And I want to check on WWE super quick. So about 30 seconds left in the first half. Like I said, I do regret saying all my favorite teams in the NFL because I feel like it takes a little bit of credibility away, but nothing I can do now. I do wish I hadn't said anything. Number 15, Wisconsin at number 12, Michigan. Saturday Night Football, 7:30, ESPN College Game Day will be there. I wish Penn State had won that game a few weeks ago against Ohio State. I wish Penn State had won that game. It would have put McSorley in the Heisman Trophy conversation, but I don't think McSorley is in the Heisman Trophy conversation anymore, and unfortunately, he should be. He had the opportunity to firmly put his name in the Heisman Trophy conversation. And Washington runs it with Alex Smith, and he gets the touchdown. So Washington draws a little bit closer, and it's 26-12 with the extra point pending. Yeah, thanks, man. But like I said, this is still going to be primarily a Cleveland Browns channel, and with the other teams sprinkled in with live streams. This is still primarily a Cleveland Browns channel. 26-12 now, and Washington is going for the extra point. So it's 26-13 now. And the opponents next year for the Browns will be the NFC West and I believe the AFC East. So the Los Angeles Rams and Seattle Seahawks. Oh my God. So, Peyton Manning was, they were showing Peyton Manning. But, yeah. Next year, the Los Angeles Rams and Seattle Seahawks will be coming to Cleveland. And the Browns will be at the Jets, at the Patriots, home for the Buffalo Bills, and home for the Miami Dolphins. And then the season after that, the Browns will be at the Giants and at the and at the Cowboys. Washington and the Eagles will be coming to Cleveland. I'm not sure what AFC division they play in 2020. In 2021, it will be the AFC North against the NFC North. So the Browns will be at Green Bay, home for Detroit, at Minnesota, and then home for, let me think. I want to say home for at Chicago. Yeah, home for at Minnesota, at Green Bay, home for Chicago, and home for Detroit. Yes. And then the season after that, halftime, 26-13. But I want to keep going with this. After that season, the Browns, the AFC North will be playing the NFC South, and the Browns will be home for New Orleans, home for Tampa Bay, at Atlanta, and at Carolina. And then after the season after that, the Browns should be at Seattle, at the Rams, home for Arizona, and home for San Francisco. So, that's the upcoming schedule. I'm not sure about AFC, but next time they play the AFC West, they will be at Kansas City, at the Chargers, home for the Broncos, and home for the Raiders. Next time the Browns play the AFC East, as I said, that will be next year. It will be at the Patriots, at the Jets, home for the Bills, home for the Jets. And then next year, when they play the AFC South, it will be at Jacksonville, home for Tennessee, at Jacksonville, home for Tennessee, home for Houston, at home against Houston, and at Indianapolis. Again, I will never forgive the Colts for what they did in 2014, preventing the Browns from going to the playoffs. And in 2007, I won't forgive the Colts. So they're another team that I strongly dislike because they prevented the Browns from going to the playoffs twice. In 2007, it was week 17. It was the last week of the season. All the Colts needed to do was beat the Titans at home on Sunday Night Football, and the Colts couldn't do that. And then a few years after 2014, I'm pretty sure it was. 2014. The Browns were winning pretty much the entire game against the Colts, and then Indianapolis came back and beat the Browns 25-24. So they're another team I don't like. I don't like the Colts. I don't like the Titans, and I don't like the Texans because they're in the same division as the Jacksonville Jaguars. And then in the AFC North, I would say the team I dislike the most would be Cincinnati, followed by Baltimore, and followed by Pittsburgh. Now, I even though I'm a Browns fan, as of right now, I would say Browns-Steelers or Steelers-Browns, whichever way you want to say it, is not a rivalry right now because the Steelers have dominated the Browns. If it was a competitive rivalry and like close games every time, I would say it is mostly a rivalry. But generally, the Steelers have dominated the Browns. I don't think it's a rivalry. But week one, if week one game is any indication, Browns Steelers could be a rivalry that's like the Phoenix rising from the ashes, like Browns Ravens. I don't like the Ravens, but as of right now, I don't really consider that a rivalry either, just because the Ravens have generally had success against us. Baker Mayfield is the first rookie quarterback to get a win against the Ravens. Going into yesterday's game, Joe Flacco was like 17-2 against the Browns. Of course, I predicted that he was going to go 18-2, but I was wrong. Now he's 17-3. But I think Browns Bengals is a rivalry because it's the Battle of Ohio, and I would love to go to that Browns Bengals game in Cincinnati. Lil Wayne is performing a concert in New Orleans at the Superdome. I'm not sure where my next NBA arena is going to be. Of course, I will let you know when that happens, when I do find out. But, I don't get it with the Titans, with the Tennessee Titans. They beat the Eagles in overtime because of Corey Davis catching his first touchdown pass and beat in overtime to give the Titans the win. And Taylor Lewan, one of their offensive tackles, is coming out saying Give us the respect we deserve. Okay, so we start giving them more respect. But what happens? What happened yesterday? They went out, they played Buffalo in Buffalo. And the Titans, this is a game. If you're Tennessee and you want respect, this is a game you should win. But the Titans dropped passes. There were dropped passes by the Titans. There were fumbles, missed tackles, and the Bills were able to get the win 13-12. You shouldn't be calling for respect in September. I mean, I don't know. I don't get it. Let's see. Who else? Who else to criticize? Oh, I know. Yeah, I mean, the Titans did win in Kansas City last year in the playoffs. Although, I wouldn't say that means a lot because the Chiefs, yes, they make it to the playoffs, but they haven't been able to win in the playoffs like the Cincinnati Bengals. Cincinnati, yes, they're the best team in the AFC North. Not just because of record. They were down like 17-0 against the Dolphins, a team that started out 3-0. But then the Bengals put up 27 points. You meant to the conference championship game. Okay, I get it. But back to what I was just saying. The Bengals put up 27 unanswered points to come back and beat the Dolphins, not the Browns. But yeah, so the Bengals are the best team in the AFC North right now. Although that could change when the Steelers get Le'Veon Bell back. But is it too little, too late for the Steelers? Yes, they're 2-1 after their beatdown of the Falcons, and apparently the Wi-Fi connection is good between Antonio Brown and Big Ben Roethlisberger, but I don't know. But the problem, I want to say the Bengals are the best team in the AFC North. Okay, they're the best regular season team in the AFC North. But I couldn't tell you the last time they won a playoff game. Maybe probably before I was born was the last time the Bengals won a playoff game. So, like, if you want to prove you're a legitimate team, go out and win a playoff game, Cincinnati. Seriously, go out and win a playoff game in Cincinnati, whether it's on the road or at Paul Brown Stadium. Which, that's another thing. And I know the Browns are my hometown team, and they're the primary team on this channel, and I will continue to support them. But there's something I gotta say, get off my chest, and I've probably said it a few times in these live streams and other videos. To me, the Cleveland Browns do not have a logo. Let me repeat that. The Cleveland Browns do not, keyword is not, have a logo. I don't consider the orange helmet to be a logo. It's just a thing. Like, and I also don't I get that the reason we're called the Browns is because of Paul Brown. I get it. But everything around the Browns is like centered around like dogs, and like you have the nickname for First Energy Stadium is the Dog Pound, and of course you have the cheer of "Here we go Brownies, here we go, woof woof," or maybe it's hoo hoo, something like that. I say woof woof. But to me, if you have like the Dog Pound and all that, I don't get why you don't change the name of the team to like the Cleveland Bulldogs or something. And that's just my thought. And then you put the Browns have Chompers is the mascot. That's gonna be a good Thursday night matchup between the Super Bowl champion Philadelphia Eagles and the New York Giants. But I don't know. I mean, I think the Browns should put that dog logo on their side of their helmet. To me, I just don't like that the Browns helmet is plain and it has nothing on it. And this season, there's nothing in the middle of their field at the 50-yard line, and I don't really like that either. I mean, I get that the Browns are like a no-nonsense team, and yeah. So Drew Brees is at 71,990 yards, Peyton Manning 71,940 yards, and Brett Favre 71,838 yards. What do all three in common? What do all three players have in common? They're all Hall of Famers. Well, Peyton Manning and Drew Brees aren't Hall of Famers yet because Drew Brees is still playing and Peyton Manning just retired. But all three, and Brett Favre is already in the Hall of Fame, but Drew Brees is for sure in the Hall of Famer, first ballot. And then Peyton Manning is definitely a first ballot Hall of Famer. That's easy. So, that's all I'm saying. Now, what did you just say? This could be the year that the Bengals win a playoff game, but they need to make it first. I think the logo should be the dog logo as well. So, do you think the Browns should change their name to like the Bulldogs or something like that? Or do you like the name Browns? Like, nobody knows what a brown is. So, that's the one thing I don't. I mean, as a Clevelander, I know that the Browns were named after Paul Brown. I get that. But I don't know if many fans outside of Cleveland know that. I don't know. So the third quarter is about to kick off. 26-13 the New Orleans Saints lead Washington. Again, I will not say Washington's team name because I just don't like that name or the logo. So, yeah. I mean, it's funny. Like, the Browns said they were going to, a few years ago, the Browns said they were going to change their logo. And I thought that meant they were going to change their logo to the dog logo or maybe the elf or something. But instead, their idea of changing the logo is like changing the color of the helmet. And a bunch of teams made fun of it. Like, we're coming out with, like, somebody made fun of it with the Packers logo by saying, guess what? We're coming out with a new logo. But it's like the Packers logo is like exactly the same. It's just that the color is a little bit darker. Or a little bit lighter or something. I don't know. So, Saints ball, 26-13, New Orleans. And Josh Norman has done a pretty good job on Michael Thomas. And Denzel Ward did a pretty good job on Michael Thomas as well. Yes, Michael Thomas had like 13 catches and a touchdown, or like 2 touchdowns. But overall, I think Denzel Ward did a great job. I mean, who knows? If the Browns make it as a wild card team, you could see a repeat of what happened last year when the Saints had both the offensive rookie of the year and the defensive rookie of the year with Alvin Kamara and Marshawn Lattimore. You could see the same thing here with the Browns if the Browns make the playoffs. That's a big if. I think the last time the Browns made the playoffs was in 2002 as a wild card team, and they lost at Pittsburgh. The Saints go with 2 running backs, 2 tight ends, 1 receiver. and they hand the ball off to Mark Ingram, and gets the Saints on Washington's side of the field. But the Saints have 51 yards rushing. Washington has 26. 285 yards passing for New Orleans. 126. So New Orleans has 316 total yards, and Washington has like 100 something. Washington has 7 points off turnovers because New Orleans turned it over once, and Washington converted it into points. So 26-13, Brees back to pass, and yeah. But what I was saying before was, like, the Saints swept the Rookie of the Year categories last year. The Browns could do the same thing with Baker Mayfield and Denzel Ward. It is a possibility. I mean, I seriously think it is a possibility. 26-13 New Orleans. And Josh Norman was at his best when he was with the Panthers. But there was a game between the Browns and Washington. Ooh, Drew Brees, deep pass. Oh, that's easy. It's a touchdown for New Orleans. That is too easy. And Brees lights up Washington's defense again. It's 32-13. Jeez. Brees is not. There could be more history made tonight. Brees is knocking on the door of 500 touchdowns. Just what? Yeah, that's great. Saints scoring drive. 5 plays, 74 yards, 2 minutes, 37 seconds. And it's now 33 to Saints 13. Saints up by 20. But Denzel Ward, I mean, he did as well as you could against Michael Thomas and Drew Brees in the dome. And he did pretty good. But he's held Antonio Brown to a fair amount of yardage. I mean, yes, he did give up a touchdown, but Denzel Ward picked off Big Ben twice. I'm pretty sure he had an interception against Sam Darnold. He's done well, but Denzel has some tough matchups coming up. I'll be curious which Chargers receiver he's matched up with. I'm kind of hoping it's Keenan Allen, because that would be a great matchup. Yeah, Drew Brees could. Oh, really? Brees could break 80,000 if he keeps playing in a few years. Interesting. But I'm curious, who will Denzel Ward be matched up with against the Chargers? Will it be Mike Williams? Will it be Keenan Allen? I think Travis Benjamin is going to be out, so I don't think so. The Browns obviously won't put him on Benjamin. Travis Benjamin, the former Cleveland Brown. And then after the Chargers, it's at Pittsburgh, so he'll probably be, or no, it's at Tampa Bay. So I wonder if the Browns will have Denzel Ward on Mike Evans, or will he be on Deshaun Jackson? And then week 8, the Browns play at Pittsburgh, so Denzel Ward will be on Antonio Brown again. And then I know the opponents, the rest of the schedule. I don't remember the order, but when we play Cincinnati, I bet will Denzel Ward be matched up with AJ Green or somebody else. And then against Kansas City, I bet he'll be matched up with Tyreek Hill. Again, in Denver, I bet he'll be matched up with Demaryius Thomas. Houston, probably DeAndre Hopkins. What did you just say? Yeah, as long as Brees passes for 3,250 yards each year, he could definitely get 80,000. Yeah, it's a possibility. But I'm trying to think, what other receivers? Denzel Ward will have to go against Keenan Allen, Tyreek Hill, Demaryius Thomas, AJ Green, Antonio Brown, Mike Evans. Who else am I missing? Oh, Julio Jones. He's one touchdown away from 500. And Peyton Manning has 539 total touchdowns, so one more touchdown for Drew Brees and he gets 500. More history. But, yeah, so Denzel Ward has to face Tyreek Hill, Keenan Allen, Antonio Brown, Julio Jones, Mike Evans, DeAndre Hopkins, AJ Green, probably DJ Moore with Carolina. So those are some good receivers Denzel Ward has to face. So, I don't know. But I hope you enjoyed this live stream. If you did, punch that like button like a UFC fighter and punch that subscribe button. I mean, of course, I would love it if you did, but you don't have to. But for now, this is UngarToTheMax signing off by saying, go Cavaliers, go Blue Jackets, beat the Panthers on Thursday in Florida and ruin the Panthers home opener at BB&T Center. Go Browns, beat the Chargers. Go Bears, beat the Dolphins. Go Jaguars, beat the Cowboys, or as I also known as the Cowgirls. And go Saints. Let's beat Washington tonight. You're welcome, Eric. You have a good night as well. I hope Brees reaches the 500 touchdown mark.